Hey y'all, today I'm going to make bruschetta on French bread baguettes, and I just love bruschetta. And there's different ingredients you can use, fresh as opposed to canned or dried, and I'll suggest to you either way what you could use. Today I'm going to take the quick way out, and just you'll see what I use. But anyway, I think it would probably be a little better with the fresh things, but we're just going to take the quick way out today. So the first thing is I have the bread cut up here in, I would say, about a 1/2 inch pieces. This is what I'm using, French baguettes. And so I already cut one up, and then in the bowl I have olive oil, some garlic salt, and some Italian seasoning, and I'm just brushing that on all the pieces of bread. You don't have to do that, but I think it just makes the food better, or the bruschetta better, if you do that. So I've got all of them done. I'm going to put them in the oven on 400 for about 5 minutes, and then they will be ready to use. So now I'm going to scoot you back a little bit, and that sound was my oven preheating. So now we're going to go ahead and make the actual bruschetta, and you can use Rama tomatoes or plum tomatoes. I actually bought some to use in this recipe, and then I decided to use canned, but they look like little oblong tomatoes in a way. They're not as juicy, and they just hold together better for the recipe. But instead, I'm going to use petite diced tomatoes, and this will have a little more liquid in it. You could pour that off if you want. I'm just going to keep it in there and soak my bread in it with some of the bites. Excuse me, some of the bites. But I'm going to use 2 cans of the petite diced tomatoes. And then if you were watching the other day, you saw where I burned my garlic container with the garlic in it. Anyway, I've transferred it into this with olive oil because all the liquid went out of it. So, and the garlic infuses that olive oil and gives it a really good flavor. So we like pretty much garlic, so I'm going to use, well, I don't want to get too much. I'm going to say this is a good big tablespoon of garlic, minced garlic. I'm going to put pepper, and I'll put about a teaspoon of pepper and a teaspoon of salt. And then we're going to put basil. You all know I love basil. So I'm going to put, that's a nice big tablespoon, and I think I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of basil. Okay, give it a stir. If you could put fresh basil in it, it would be better. It would taste fresher and all that, but I didn't have fresh basil, so I'm just using the dry basil. Then I'm going to put some olive oil. I'm going to put about 1/4 of a cup. You don't want to overdo the olive oil, especially since you have some on your bread pieces. And then, I almost forgot, we're going to put some Parmesan and Romano cheese in it. If you had the shredded real Parmesan, that would be better, but we don't, so we're going to use this, and it's still going to be delicious. So I'm going to put about 3/4 of a cup. And the best thing to do would be let this marinate in the refrigerator at least overnight before you eat it. And that's what I'm going to try to do. But I am going to go ahead and give it a taste test once the bread gets ready. And as I said, that should take about 5 minutes on 400. But this is what it looks like for right now. And as I said, if you're in a hurry or just want to use the petite diced tomatoes, it will work just fine in this. So let me check the bread. What I'm going to do is go ahead and get one out. They could go just a little bit longer, but still this is done enough that I can use it for a taste test. And it's pretty hot. I'm afraid I'm going to burn my mouth. Okay, also, you use balsamic vinegar, but I don't want balsamic vinegar in my bruschetta itself. I want to pour it on after I have it on the bread, and I'm using the balsamic glaze. And that will not soak into your bread and all. So I'll put a little of that on it. If you want to put the balsamic in your bowl, you know, you sure can. So here's what it looks like. And I'm going to give it a taste. And it is delicious. The tomatoes are just a little soft. That's okay for me. You might want yours to use the fresh if you want the firmer tomato, but this is so good. I do suggest that you go ahead and use the oil, olive oil, garlic salt, and Italian seasoning to coat your bread before you brown it. It's fantastic. And it's not expensive to make. So anyway, this is my bruschetta recipe. I hope you make some for your family also, and I hope you love it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.